exciting day, isn't it? It's finally here. There's been so much time that's elapsed, so much planning that's gone into this beautiful day. And ultimately, this day is going to bring honor and praise to Jehovah. So just think about that. I'm already getting emotional. You've planned so well. You two look so beautiful. It looks wonderful. Your audience, your friends and family are here. And all those on Zoom, Caden and Lauren want to thank you for sharing this special day with them. There's a lot of thoughts and prayers and feelings that are going with you two today. So just know that. And we're going to have a nice Bible discussion. We're going to hear the role of the husband and the wife, and get some of Jehovah's guidance, Bible principles to start your marriage. How does that sound? Now, Caden, I know you've been patiently waiting for Lauren. And it always reminded me of Jacob, waiting for Rachel. So do your double take, make sure this is Lauren. We don't want any mistakes. So your friendship, we've watched your friendship, all your friends and family have watched your friendship blossom over the past 4.5, 5 years. And now it's your wedding day. It's here. This is a provision from Jehovah, and he wants you to be happy. He wants you to succeed. And you're going to compliment him and help him be complete. And you're already doing that. So let's read a scripture. It's the first wedding performed. It was by Jehovah in Genesis chapter 2, verses 21 and verse 22. And we're going to see the closeness that Jehovah wanted for a husband and a wife. It says, so Jehovah God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God built the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and he brought her to the man. So you see how special this is? Jehovah could have made the woman out of dust like he made Adam, but he took a rib. He took part of Adam to make his complement. Now, how long was this union to last? Let's read in verse 24. That is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he will stick to his wife, and they will become one flesh. So this is a permanent union. But Jehovah is going to help you make it a permanent union, because it's difficult. Everyone who's married knows that it can be difficult. This is the fun time right now. You're happy, you got smiles on your faces, your friends and family are surrounding you. But how can you make this happiness and this love that you're feeling right now, how can you make it last a year from now, or 5 years from now, even 10 years? The key is making Jehovah first in your life. See, as single people, I've watched both of you. You've made Jehovah number one in your life. He's been a priority to both of you, and that's a beautiful thing. So continue with that same mindset. As you come together, make Jehovah number one, and always be ready to follow his advice that we find in the Bible. See, marriage is like a twofold cord. You two have built this friendship. You two are intertwined together. But how important it is to have Jehovah as that central strand in order for it to be a threefold cord. So intertwine around Jehovah as that center strand. And who can make it? How can it break if you do that? It will not break. You will not be unsuccessful in your marriage. He will make sure you succeed, always keeping him first in your life, and again following his advice. So that means taking time to study together, pray together, worship together, and preach together. You'll make Jehovah number one. And then you two will draw closer to each other, and you'll draw closer to Jehovah God. Now, I know you both love photography. At first, it was just a passion. It was a hobby. Then you two have come together and you've made a business out of photography. So take a moment, look around. Look at your friends and your family. Look at Jehovah's beautiful creation. This setting is picture perfect. And it's being captured. I see our photographers out here. They're capturing this moment for you. Now you realize how much work goes into capturing a picture, how hard it is. See, most of us, we look at a picture on Instagram or in a photo album. A photo album is something that people used to have that would open up, and pictures would be printed out. But you know all the hard work that goes into capturing a picture. We look at a picture like, oh, that's a beautiful sunset. But you know you have to wait the perfect time in order to get that sunset. Or you see a picture of a beautiful couple. There's so much arranging that goes into making that picture work. So similarly, with your marriage, it takes a lot of work in order for it to succeed. Now, many of your photo shoots, as we see even here today, you have 2 photographers in order to capture every moment just right, to make it perfect. You have your first photographer who generally organizes the event, has the client. He plots down every aspect of the day. And then that second photographer, he's going to adjust things. He's going to take pictures from different angles. He might even straighten some ties or even straighten some dresses out so things look beautiful. And the reason why is so everything can be a success. So when you look at those pictures to edit them, you're happy. You know that all your hard work was worth it. So you want to have that same attitude in your marriage. So what does this mean for you two? Well, Caden, you're that first photographer in real life generally, and it's going to be in your marriage as well. Jehovah has appointed you as a man and as her husband to be her head. So you have a lot of responsibility. You have to make sure that she is taken care of, materially, spiritually, emotionally. Making sure it's not all work, that there is play, there is recreation, and never neglect taking the lead in worshiping Jehovah. Because what you want to do, Caden, is you want to gain deep respect from Lauren. Jehovah already tells Lauren, have deep respect for your husband. But how much easier it is if you do these things, then it'll be easy for her to have respect for you. And especially if you take care of her spiritually. Now I asked both of you, but I asked Lauren, what is it about Caden that you really love? And I was expecting, just a couple of adjectives, but she did even better, and I couldn't even pick it out. So I was going to just read parts of it that I could get through, because I got choked up because you're my son. I'm like, this is what she sees in my son. So I said, why do you love him? And this is the first thing she wrote. How couldn't I? He's everything my heart could dream of. I found the biggest sweetheart. I'm going to stop there because she's crying and I'm going to start crying. But the other thing she says, he loves Jehovah more than anything else. So those are some beautiful words, and I can forward you that at another time. So you want to be a good head for her because she already loves you so much. She already has respect for you. So make sure your headship doesn't become that of a tyrant. It's my way or the highway. You have to communicate with her. Take her feelings and her thoughts into consideration. And you have a perfect example. If we read Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25, it says, husbands, continue loving your wives, just as the Christ also loved the congregation and gave himself up for it. And then verse 28 and 29. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. A man who loves his wife loves himself. For no man ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cherishes it just as the Christ does the congregation. And looking at your perfect example in Jesus and his willingness to be self-sacrificing, to give his life for the congregation, for his bride or bride, he always put the interests of others ahead of his own. And he was a source of refreshment. That's what you can be for Lauren. Put her interests above yours. Be willing to support her. Give of yourself. So if there's a rainy or snowy day, which we might like a little cloud cover right now, and it's a gray day, and Lauren comes out and she wants to just stay in her pajamas and put her hair in a bun and wear no makeup and no contacts in, just go with it. That might be what she needs for that day. And you know what? You do the same. Don't put your makeup on. But take care of her needs. Because you know, a Christian husband loves his wife as his own body. And no sane man would ever brutalize his body. So take care of her. She's precious. Never become violently angry with her in word or action. And when she makes mistakes or she does something that you might not like, don't belittle her just because she might have a difference of opinion. And I've watched you two, that there are difference of opinions, but that's okay. Just work with each other, communicate, talk things out. And then that she will definitely want to give you that respect that she's already giving you. And it'll make it even easier for her. So now we get to go to you, Lauren, the second photographer in our illustration here, the wife. And the same thing, I asked Caden, what is it about Lauren that you love? And the first thing he said was your spirituality and your love for Jehovah. He admired how you've pioneered for so long. Through school, for so many years. Even not even going to pioneer school for so many years because you were too young. And what beautiful qualities that you have. He loves your kindness that you show to your family, the kindness that you show to friends in the congregation. These are things that he loves about you. He was a lot more brief, and I see why you write the Instagram posts. But trust me, he loves and adores you. And your role in Jehovah's arrangement is a dignified one. It's a beautiful arrangement that Jehovah has for you to be in submission to your husband and to stick with him. Now, Caden, as a Christian husband, is told to assign you honor. And that's important that he does that. But imagine the opportunity that you have as a compliment to Caden to complete him. You're not inferior to him, just like you're not an inferior photographer. Your role is different, but it's an important one that can complete him. And I love the definition of the word compliment. There was one definition that says, a thing that contributes extra features to something else in such a way as to improve or to emphasize its quality. And that's what you're doing for Caden. You're adding extra features. And when we go to buy something, aren't we looking for something that has extra features? And that's what you do. But these aren't features that you're not going to use, that are worthless. How you're going to complete him is very important. So remember that. Your role is a dignified one, and your recognition of your role and the headship arrangement will promote marital success and happiness. And here's your role. Let's read about it in the Bible. In Ephesians chapter 5, starting in verse 22, it says, "Let wives be in subjection to their husbands as to the Lord, because a husband is head of his wife, just as the Christ is the head of the congregation, he being a savior of his body. In fact, as the congregation is in subjection to the Christ, wives should also be to their husbands in everything." We don't see this popular in the world today, but relative subjection is a divine command from Jehovah, and it's for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the marriage. Because think about a photo shoot that had no direction. If you were taking pictures for a wedding, and you were that second shooter or photographer, and you went off to start taking pictures of the beautiful surroundings, and you missed all those really important key features. So it's important to take direction, and that's the same way in a marriage, to take direction, not to wander off. Sounds like this may have happened to time or two.
Yes.
So without leadership, what could result? Well, it would be a lack of success. So just always remember, this is Jehovah's arrangement, and he knows what's best for you. His advice in the Bible for your physical and emotional needs, he knows how to take care of you, how to take care of a marriage, and what it takes in order for it to be successful. So scroll down too far. So without this leadership, conflict, friction, or confusion could result in unhappiness. So just communicate with one another is so important. And cooperate with Caden in your marriage. And he's going to make mistakes. Trust me, he will make mistakes. But it's how you deal with those mistakes. Are you going to emphasize them, or are you going to work with him? And even give him a hug and say, it's okay, it'll be better, or we'll do this differently next time. So be supportive of him. And both of you, look for ways to show love each and every day. So cooperate in your marriage. This is for both of you. Jehovah wants your marriage to be full of love and happiness. Because remember, he's a God of love and he's a God of happiness. He is love and he's a God of happiness. And so he wants those qualities to be in your marriage. And this does take effort. So clothe yourselves with love, just as you've clothed yourselves today in beautiful garments. This clothing, it really will enhance your relationship. It will enhance your qualities, your spiritual qualities. Listen to each other and make it always a habit to show kindness. What's the kind thing? And always do the kind thing. So tender words, acts of affection, these things will strengthen your marriage. And remember, love never fails. Are you ready? Are you ready for your vows? It's time. Okay. So this is first to you, Caden. Do you, Caden Isaiah Ellis, in the presence of Jehovah God and these witnesses, take Lauren Dummies Franco to be your wedded wife, to love and to cherish in accordance with the divine law as outlined in the Holy Scriptures for Christian husbands for as long as you both may live? Hold on a second. I do. Excellent. Now you, Lauren. Do you, Lauren Dummies Franco, in the presence of Jehovah God and these witnesses, take Caden Isaiah Ellis to be your wedded husband, to love and to cherish and deeply respect in accordance with the divine law as outlined in the Holy Scriptures for Christian wives for as long as you both may live?
Thank you.
Beautiful. So who gives this woman to be married to this man?
My mother and I do.
Excellent. Thank you. So here are our vows. So, Caden, first we're going to go to you, and you're going to repeat after me. And I'll try and go slowly. I, Caden Isaiah Ellis, take you, Lauren Dummies Franco, to be my wedded wife.
I, Caden Isaiah Ellis, take you, Lauren Dummies Franco, to be my wedded wife.
To love and to cherish in accordance with the divine law as set forth in the Holy Scriptures for Christian husbands. To love and to cherish in accordance with the divine law.
To love and to cherish in accordance with the divine law.
As set forth in the Holy Scriptures for Christian husbands.
As set forth in the Holy Scriptures for Christian husbands.
For as long as we both shall live together.
For as long as we both shall live together.
On earth according to God's marital arrangement.
On earth according to God's marital arrangement.
Excellent. Okay, Lauren, I wrote yours up a minute ago. So you'll repeat after me. I, Lauren Dummies Franco, take you, Caden Isaiah Ellis, to be my wedded husband.
I, Lauren Dummies Franco, take you, Caden Isaiah Ellis, to be my wedded husband.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
And deeply respect.
And deeply respect.
In accordance with the divine law.
In accordance with the divine law.
As set forth in the Holy Scriptures.
As set forth in the Holy Scriptures.
For Christian wives.
For Christian wives.
For as long as we both shall live together on earth.
For as long as we both shall live together on earth.
According to God's marital arrangement.
According to God's marital arrangement.
Excellent. So if there are rings to be exchanged, We'll do this at this time. Now this ring, or rings in this case, is an outward and visible sign signifying unto all the uniting of this man and this woman in the bond